Okay, so I got some more stuffing and we are ready to get going on the next step. Okay, so I've got my skewer, my little bamboo skewer, and I've got some stuffing and more on hand because this, even though it looks like a lot, is not going to be enough to stuff this head. Okay, so here we go. So what I like to do with the bamboo skewer is I can push the skewer in and then twist it, and that helps to grab the stuffing and push it in, and it helps to you can target where you want the stuffing to go. So, and I like to use small amounts of wool. I'm using sort of large pinches right now because the head is still empty. But as I add more towards the end, I'll start to use smaller quantities. If you're always trying to stuff big amounts into the head at once, you get a really lumpy kind of look to the head. I'll show you how to target the stuffing to specific areas. But that comes once you get a bit in there. One thing I've noticed about people stuffing heads, and it's not that it's bad or wrong or anything, but they don't realize how much stuffing you can actually get in there. And there are a couple of tricks that I have to help you really fill out the head so it has just a really nice shape. So this is starting to fill up, but it's still squishy. The head is still sort of soft. So if I were to leave the head like this and I put the eyes in, the head would sort of collapse because I would want to tighten them a little bit. So what I like to do with the stuffing is try to create a really dense filling for the head in particular, because then you can really get the personality with the eyes and so forth, and you can pull them in, and the head will stay firm and won't kind of get squished in a bad way. His eyebrows are a little funny. That's all right. So as the center of the head, the sort of stuffing ball that's filling his head gets more filled out, it's going to be harder to push the stuffing into the center. And to get the head to be filled out and form the shape that these darts have created here, you have to start pushing it in along the sides. So imagine you have this center ball of stuffing, and with your skewer, instead of trying to go into the middle, which is starting to get hard, you're going to slide the stuffing around the edges of the ball and between the felt skin. So now I'm taking sort of smaller pinches of fiber, and I'm going along those edges like I just described. So between the felt and the center ball of stuffing. And I keep turning the head so that I don't get heavier with stuffing on one side, but I keep going sort of around in a circle to maintain the even shape of the head. And you can sometimes see like these sort of, I don't really see any right now, but these sort of soft spots or gaps where you've got like this little air pocket or something. And you can reach those by doing another little trick, which I'll show you. Get a little bit more in here. Now it's really getting dense in the center, but I still want more stuffing. I want the head to be nice and dense and not squishy. We're getting there. They're similar. But I can see that this side, it has less stuffing. This side has a little bit more stuffing, so I definitely want some more over here. Let me get a little bit more there. And so that cheek is starting to even out. So here's the thing that I love. Here's a trick that I really love. So you can cut right up into the head. And we do this anyway when we're attaching the head to the body. But anytime you, instead of stuffing along the edges, if you want to, you want to increase the volume of the stuffing inside, but you don't want to make any changes over here because maybe you're afraid it's going to get lumpy or whatever, we can press the stuffing outwards from the center by creating a channel and just making a spot for the stuffing to go. And so you can do that multiple times if you want to get the stuffing that you need in the head. So I think we're starting to look pretty good here. I'm going to grab a little bit more. Just see where I can get it in. So he's still got this sort of gap like right under here that I want to fill. Okay, so he looks pretty symmetrical. Now, you might also find sometimes when you are stuffing a head that you feel like you've got enough stuffing in there, but maybe the head is looking like it's a little too long back this way and you want it to be more puffy from side to side. One thing that you can do is just squish, kind of squish it either like this or like this, and you can sort of redistribute the volume so that the head is rounder here instead of too long, or make fine adjustments to the shape of the head. So I think we're in pretty good shape. Let's take a look at this one. So that was my first one in the other color. They look pretty similar. I did the cheeks differently on this one. We glued this cheek on and I stitched that cheek on. But other than that, I think they're pretty good. All right, so that's our head stuffing tutorial. And in the next video, we can move on to, I think, maybe doing the fuzziness of the face.